You told me some very interesting, I would say almost shocking numbers about what's been happening in your company in terms of looking at the order books. I was wondering if you could kind of share with the audience, are we seeing a change? What does your own firm's order books look like?
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a tipping point. If I take a look from our fiscal year, the first 6 months of this year, so we're mostly in long cycle businesses, very capital intensive. So as you said, power plants, pipelines, oil and gas technologies, manufacturing facilities, hospitals, large commercial buildings, et cetera. Our orders are up for those 6 months over 20% year over year, which tells us that 2015 is going to be a pretty good year because basically something that gets ordered today turns into revenue in about 12 to 18 months. We've seen these orders now for about 6 months. And what's driving that is I think the headline that we're starting to see is that the U.S. is really becoming a low-cost manufacturing environment relative to a lot of other places. We're in 190 countries around the world, and we've been moving a lot of our manufacturing here. In fact, if you take a look just 15 years ago, we basically were a net importer in the U.S. of technologies from around the world. Now the U.S. is, we've quadrupled the size of our U.S. business in the last 15 years, and we're now a net exporter. Last year we exported $6 billion worth of goods, about a $27 billion business total, but we exported about $6 billion. And I think that two areas that we see as really growing, not just because the U.S. is a large market, but as I said, exports are growing, is anything that's energy intensive, because we obviously have lower energy costs, and those are going to be around for a long, long time. Even if we build LNG terminals, I think you're going to see a huge advantage here on energy intensive industries for at least the next couple of decades. So if you're making investments in technologies that are going to be around for 30, 40 years, the U.S. is a great place to be a low-cost player. And secondly, advanced manufacturing. I think if you go back 10, 15 years, everyone was saying the U.S. is going to become a service economy. But what they didn't understand was when you take the manufacturing offshore, the R&D often follows it. And then we lost our innovation edge in many different areas. You're seeing that come back because the U.S. is a great place to marry manufacturing and R&D. And all of our manufacturing facilities, you said we have about 130 in the U.S., have R&D right there on the site. We have centralized R&D as well. But this is a great place because we still have the world's best universities and national labs and things. So it's a great place, especially for advanced manufacturing. And all of the manufacturing now is really software-led, and the U.S. develops about 75% of the new software around the world every year. Exactly. So I think that's going to be a big driver of innovation and growth for U.S. manufacturing.